Hello guys, today's my first video about History of Asia introduction. Asia is a continent of immense significance in world history, known as the birthplace of several ancient civilizations, including Mesopotamia and China. It has been a hub for trade, ideas, and cultural exchange, particularly through the Silk Road. In modern times, Asia has emerged as an economic powerhouse, with countries like China and India reshaping global markets and politics. Its rich cultural heritage and ongoing influence on global issues make Asia a vital player on the world stage. Culture. From the rich culinary traditions of India and the intricate arts of Japan to the vibrant festivals of Southeast Asia, the continent boasts a tapestry of cultural expressions. Language. Over 2,300 languages are spoken across Asia, reflecting its linguistic diversity. Major language families include Sino-Tibetan, Indo-European, and Altaic, with languages like Mandarin, Hindi, and Arabic being among the most widely spoken. Religions. Asia is the birthplace of many of the world's major religions, including Hinduism, Buddhism, Islam, and Sikhism. This spiritual diversity influences social practices, festivals, and worldviews, contributing to the continent's dynamic cultural landscape. Trade has been a driving force in Asia's historical development. The Silk Road not only facilitated the exchange of goods, like silk, spices, and precious metals, but also enabled cultural and technological exchanges between East and West. Maritime trade routes, especially through the Indian Ocean, further connected diverse civilizations, enhancing economic interdependence. Empires. Asia has been home to some of history's most influential empires, such as the Mongol Empire, the Ottoman Empire, and the various dynasties in China, like the Han and Ming. These empires facilitated the spread of ideas, innovations, and religions, significantly impacting governance, art, and culture across vast regions. Conflicts. The continent has also seen its share of conflicts, whether through territorial disputes, colonial conquests, or ideological battles. These conflicts often reshape borders and power dynamics, influencing global politics. Events like the Opium Wars and the partition of India serve as crucial examples of how conflicts in Asia have reverberated around the world. Modernization and globalization. In the 20th and 21st centuries, Asia has played a pivotal role in global modernization. Countries like Japan, South Korea, and China have emerged as economic powerhouses, influencing global markets and technology, while also facing challenges such as urbanization and environmental issues. These themes, trade, empires, conflicts, cultural exchange, and modernization, form a framework for understanding Asia's critical role in shaping world history and its ongoing influence in contemporary global affairs. The Persian Empire played a crucial role in facilitating trade routes and cultural exchange, particularly through the establishment of the Royal Road, which connected key cities and enabled efficient communication and commerce across vast distances. This network not only promoted the exchange of goods, such as spices, textiles, and precious metals, but also facilitated the transfer of ideas, technology, and cultural practices among diverse peoples. The empire's tolerance of different cultures and religions further enriched this exchange, fostering a blend of traditions that influenced art, architecture, and governance, ultimately shaping the cultural landscape of the ancient world. The Persian Empire played a crucial role in facilitating trade routes and cultural exchange, particularly through the establishment of the Royal Road, which connected key cities and enabled efficient communication and commerce across vast distances. This network not only promoted the exchange of goods, such as spices, textiles, and precious metals, but also facilitated the transfer of ideas, technology, and cultural practices among diverse peoples. The empire's tolerance of different cultures and religions further enriched this exchange, fostering a blend of traditions that influenced art, architecture, and governance, ultimately shaping the cultural landscape of the ancient world. The Persian Empire played a crucial role in facilitating trade routes and cultural exchange, particularly through the establishment of the Royal Road, which connected key cities and enabled efficient communication and commerce across vast distances. This network not only promoted the exchange of goods, such as spices, textiles, and precious metals, but also facilitated the transfer of ideas, technology, and cultural practices among diverse peoples. The empire's tolerance of different cultures and religions further enriched this exchange, fostering a blend of traditions that influenced art, architecture, and governance, ultimately shaping the cultural landscape of the ancient world. The Persian Empire played a crucial role in facilitating trade routes and cultural exchange, particularly through the establishment of the Royal Road, which connected key cities and enabled efficient communication and commerce across vast distances. This network not only promoted the exchange of goods, such as spices, textiles, and precious metals, but also facilitated the transfer of ideas, technology, and cultural practices among diverse peoples. The empire's tolerance of different cultures and religions further enriched this exchange, fostering a blend of traditions that influenced art, architecture, and governance, ultimately shaping the cultural landscape of the ancient world. The Mongol Empire, at its height in the 13th century, significantly expanded across Asia and into Europe, creating one of the largest contiguous land empires in history. This expansion facilitated the reopening and protection of key trade routes, particularly the Silk Road, which enhanced the movement of goods, ideas, and technologies between East and West. The Mongols established a system of relay stations and promoted trade by ensuring safety for merchants, leading to increased economic prosperity. British in India, the British East India Company initially established trade in India, gradually expanding its control through military force and diplomacy. By the mid-19th century, the British government took direct control after the Sepoy Mutiny of 1857. British rule transformed India's economy and infrastructure, introducing railways and modern administrative systems, but also led to significant social and economic upheaval, exploitation of resources, and cultural imposition. French and Indochina France began colonizing Indochina in the mid-19th century, establishing control over Vietnam, Laos, and Cambodia. French rule focused on economic exploitation, particularly in agriculture and resource extraction. They introduced Western education and infrastructure, but also suppressed local cultures and resistance movements, leading to significant social unrest and the eventual rise of nationalist movements in the early 20th century. Dutch in Indonesia. The Dutch East India Company was established in the early 17th century, initially focusing on spice trade in Indonesia. By the 19th century, the Dutch consolidated control over the archipelago, implementing a plantation economy that exploited local labor and resources. Dutch colonization introduced Western education and infrastructure, but also resulted in social and economic inequalities, fueling nationalist sentiments that would later lead to independence movements. After World War II, many Asian nations experienced significant political and social changes, leading to a wave of independence movements. The war weakened European colonial powers, both economically and politically, making it increasingly difficult for them to maintain control over their colonies. In India, the British faced growing demands for independence, culminating in the 1947 partition and the establishment of India and Pakistan. In Southeast Asia, countries like Indonesia and Vietnam intensified their struggles for independence from Dutch and French colonial rule, respectively, leading to significant conflicts such as the Indonesian National Revolution and the First Indochina War. In the broader context, the rise of nationalism was fueled by ideas of self-determination and anti-colonial sentiment, often supported by new superpowers like the US and the USSR, which sought to expand their influence. As a result, by the mid-20th century, many Asian nations gained independence, marking the decline of colonial empires and the emergence of new nation-states. Economic growth. In recent decades, Japan, China, and India have emerged as major global economic players. Japan experienced rapid industrialization and became a technological powerhouse in the post-war era. China's economic reforms since the late 1970s have transformed it into the world's second-largest economy, driven by manufacturing and exports. India, with its IT and service sectors, has also seen significant growth, becoming a vital player in the global economy. Cultural impact. Asian cultures have increasingly influenced the world through cinema, cuisine, and art. Bollywood films and Chinese cinema have garnered international audiences, while Asian cuisines, from sushi to curry, have become global favorites. Traditional art forms and modern pop culture, including K-pop and anime, have also gained widespread popularity, contributing to a greater appreciation of Asian cultural heritage. Do not forget to subscribe and like and also comment.